Black Ops 6 is only worth buying if you already like Call of Duty. If you don't like the formula or it's gotten old for you, you're exhausted with the same experience time and time again, I don't think this is new enough to get you back aboard the hype train. If you've already checked out, this isn't going to be the thing that gives you a new needle to get addicted to.
Is he spinning or is he spinning? I think he's pretty correct on that.
At its core, just kind of.
You were modeling my two goats origins. Toilet. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for the
I had a lot of hype for this game because I really enjoyed the beta. The Omni movement really felt fresh, like it breathed some new life into a pretty stale formula, at least for.
Okay, genuinely, chat. 1 in chat if you like Omni movement. 2 in the chat if you don't. I don't think it's used at all in zombies. Personally, I rarely use it, but I think it's great. For me, I think it's fun in MP.
But now on full release, after playing like 7 hours worth of the multiplayer, it just feels the same.
Right.
And I think it's because in the beta, everyone was spamming Omni movement because it was new and shiny, and everyone wanted to play with that toy. Everyone trying out the new butt plug with Omni movement. And now the full game's out, and you realize you don't really need to be spamming Omni movement. Like, it's a nice little bonus. Like, it does feel pretty fluid.
I want a dolphin dive backwards, man.
Like, the movement does feel good, but it doesn't really change anything at all, really. It's like if I put little risers in my shoes to go from 5'6" to 5'7". Like, yeah, it is better, but no one's going to notice. Like, it makes such a trivial difference. And that's kind of how I feel about Omni movement. It's fun to like dive around corners like it's Max Payne 3, but it's still just the same Call of Duty, but with much worse.
Lads, I heard that they're going to be adding in Omni movement all the time. Grow your hair like Charlie. Lads, it would take me 100 years to grow my hair. Do you see this hairline? Brother, do you see this
maps in the multiplayer? I'll get to that in a moment. Let's just go ahead and go through the whole thing. I really like zombies. I want to get that up top. I am having so much fun with zombies, much more than I expected to.
Let's go!
I haven't been into zombies to this degree in quite a while. Like, I was actually doing Easter eggs earlier today, which I haven't done in years. But let's just go campaign multiplayer and we'll finish with zombies. Campaign had a lot of glaze. Like, it got like 9 out of 10 from IGN or something.
Yeah,
Not that anyone
was it really
takes
that
IGN
good?
super seriously anymore, unless of course they're making fools of themselves by giving the Penguin a 5.
Dang, dude, zombie players are winning out here. This is crazy.
Never thought this would be the day. But they gave this a 9, so everyone's like, oh, this must be like a pretty crazy Call of Duty campaign. Not really. The first, like, I'd say like 70% of the Call of Duty campaign is good. Like, it is one of the better Call of Duty campaigns. I don't think it's the best one, but it is good. I was having a great time with it.
I'm really excited to play the casino mission. That's the one I'm excited for. I don't know about everything else, though.
I thought they did a really nice job with the set pieces, the action. The story, of course, is nothing to write home about, but it's serviceable, and it was a good time. But the last 30%, like the last 2 hours of the game, is fucking miserable. It falls apart and it becomes just tedious chores for the sake of padding time.
Is this true? I have not heard this. I heard the ending was like a good cliffhanger.
And nonsense.
Is this true?
Like, you go into a different dimension fighting an alternate version of yourself, and then you're strangling the life out of a cosmic being entity. It's so dumb, and it's close to being fun shitty. Like, it's so stupid that it almost wraps back around to being good if it wasn't so tiresome. Like, it slows...
That's interesting.
Slows down the pacing of the game to a crawl. It is glacial. So then you're having to, like, slowly go through these things, listen to the exposition, which... by this point, you don't really care about. You've definitely mentally checked out.
Is this a W or L take? Chat's saying L. I'm pretty shocked. I don't really know what he's talking about. I haven't even loaded up campaign or MP yet.
Because it is just overstaying its welcome.
Yeah.
And then you finally have, like, this weird thing that's unfolding, and it's, like, kind of cool how weird it is. But then you remember it took you, like, 30 minutes of just listening to yapping and, like, slowly opening doors and collecting little pieces of glass, and you just want it to be over.
I don't think Call of Duty can ever tell a story in their game anymore. That's my take.
I think this is probably the longest Call of Duty campaign.
That's my take.
And like I said, 70% of it is good, but the last 30% ruin everything that came before it. It is not a 9 out of 10. The campaign is mostly good. Like, I think it is more good than
This is his most controversial
opinion. I
opinion.
cannot stress enough just how boring the last 30% was. I won't focus on the campaign too much. Instead, I want to put the screws to the multiplayer here because I think that's the meat that everyone wants to know.
I think most people also are saying that it's better than Cold War's campaign. So, I mean...
How is the beef?
I think that is
well
a W.
done? Is it rare? What
I'm
are we
saying
looking
it's like
here?
I'm saying it's rare.
And I think the
That's
multiplayer is going to be good for people that already really like COD. I think it is a pretty fine-tuned, normal Call.
Lads, MP out of 10, put your rating. I haven't tried it. From what I've seen, it looks like a 7?
Call of Duty experience.
I don't know.
The only part that I think most people will probably agree on, and they already kind of are, is that the map selection is trash. Jiminy Christmas. I don't know what went wrong with the maps. They got hit by the fucking stupid beam over there at the
Dude, Treyarch usually cooks on maps. That's pretty shocking.
headquarters when designing these things. Some of them are just unforgivably big for no reason. Red Card. Red Card is the worst map in Call of Duty history. I'm just going to say it. Whoever...
Is it really that bad? Is it worse than that one Fortress Ghost map, like that COD Ghost map?
Brainstormed and spearheaded Red Card. We need to have a chat about maybe getting off the map design department there, because that is...
Is it worse than that one highway map on Modern Warfare 2 Remastered? Nothing can be worse than that map and exploding cars, dog. Nothing can be worse. Is it really that bad?
Is horrifyingly
that map was bad.
There's like 3 different levels and elevations to it with like 1,000 little hidey holes to be just holding down and camping, and you will sit there for like 4 or 5 minutes and not see a soul because the map is so big, everything's so spread out.
Warzone enjoyers.
Like, you're basically playing RuneScape grinding agility when you're playing on Red Card. Like, you're just having a single-player, mind-numbing experience on that.
You know, if he's comparing it to RuneScape, something's up.
Something's up. And if you do find some action and you push into the other team's spawn and the spawn switch, they need to give you a vehicle to get to the other side because it's going to take half the goddamn time allotted to the match just to go from one side to the other. Now, I know I'm exaggerating a bit, but the map is way too big. That is the point. It is way too big. Everything way too, like, closed off. So it's not even...
I'm shocked. Treyarch usually specializes in small maps. That's why I'm kind of shocked by that, you know?
Even, like, open and big. Like, this is a ground war-sized map where you're not seeing anybody. Like, it's so lame. I won't harp on that too long, but there's a couple maps like that that are just way too big. So you don't get to do anything. It's super
I do agree, though.
boring.
I don't like bigger maps.
I don't know why they made these.
I mean, everybody in COD MP likes small maps, bro. Why do people like Shoot House? Why do people like Nuketown? Rust, bro. The small maps are always the best in COD, man.
Huge maps that don't fit. And even when the maps aren't way too big, most of them are just unfun. Like, there's not a ton of 3-lane maps anymore. Like, I know they're trying to get away from that. And it shows, like, they definitely are trying to get away from that.
Chat, is that a W or L? I love 3-lane maps. Some of my favorite Black Ops 3 maps are 3-lane maps. Like, I don't know.
But in doing so, what they end up making is just maps that are chaos for the sake of chaos, where everything has, like, 5 different wraps and, like, 5 different hidey hole angles that someone could be poking their little head out like a gopher. Like, the maps just really aren't fun. Like, I would prefer just more 3-lane maps. Like, I know it's generic. I know it's been...
Yeah, I honestly, like, I miss 3-lane maps
overdone to death in the franchise. But
are the ones.
It was fun. These, I just haven't been having a good time with. The only 2 maps that I've consistently enjoyed are Payback and Subsonic. I haven't heard anyone talk about Subsonic, but I've actually really enjoyed that map. I don't even think it's that good of a map, like, objectively.
They're 100% going to bring back OG maps? Yeah, bro. Bro, I want jungle from BO1.
It's like the only map
that
where
would be crazy.
I'm getting action constantly, and it doesn't feel like I'm getting shot from
I love BO1's map.
Upside down, where I had no idea you could even get to. It's just a fine map. And Payback, I actually think, is a good map. I have liked Payback quite a bit. I think that's probably the strongest here. I know a lot of people like Vorkuta.
I wish I knew what he was talking about.
And Vorkuta's fine. Like, I think that's another, like, serviceable map, but I'm not going, you know, ballistic over it. I'm not pumping my fist like, yeah, this is the fucking gold standard for Black Ops 6 maps. It's okay. For me, Payback is my favorite map. That is the worst part of the multiplayer, is how bad the maps are. Other than that, everything else is fine. Even good in certain degrees. Like, I do think the movement feels very fluid. I think that is a nice thing, but it does.
The movement feels very fluid even in zombies. Like, I do agree. That Warzone movement does feel fluid. Do I miss slide jumping, though, from BO3? I can't lie.
It doesn't feel different from other Call of Duties. It just feels like they've got the movement pretty fine-tuned by this point into the franchise. The guns feel good. Really, all of it feels good. Pretty much exactly what you expect from Call of Duty if you've played any of the previous titles. It is the exact same meal that you are getting served again. And for a lot of people, that's going to be that nice comfort food. And for others, it's just going to be pretty bland. For me, I'm somewhere in between.
I want to know what he thinks about zombies. Okay, chat. Do you think he likes Terminus or Liberty Balls? I'm saying Liberty Balls. Everybody, every YouTuber I just saw some ordinary gamer's video. He likes Liberty Balls more than Terminus. He didn't even try Terminus, bro.
Like, I'm having some fun just playing through. I'm not grinding camos or anything, but hopping on and just banging out a couple of games, dropping like a fat, stinky 30 or 40 bomb before skill-based matchmaking claps my cheeks biblically has been enjoyable. Like, I'm not having a terrible time with it, but it really is just the same Call of Duty again, but with movement that I think feels more fluid than last year's title.
Nice.
I do want to mention skill-based matchmaking since I briefly brought it up.
Chat, I genuinely forget that Modern Warfare 3 happened last year. It feels like a fever dream, to be honest. Like, I remember MW3 Zombies, but, like, the whole game felt like a fever dream, bro.
People are talking about it for good reason. It is harsh. The skill-based matchmaking in this is harsh.
Yeah.
If you have one good game, I hope you're ready to get to the fucking esports challenger circuit here, because your next game is going to have the sweatiest, striving pros you have ever played against.
And this is why I do not play MP.
Like, God forbid you have one game where you pop off. The next game, you are getting slapped. You are getting put into timeout, mister, and you're going to be wearing the dunce cap because skill-based matchmaking doesn't want to see you thrive, soldier. Definitely think they set the dial to wumbo on that, and it's kind of unnecessary. I've always been pretty vocal about my belief that Halo 2 had this whole skill-based matchmaking thing solved 20 fucking years ago. You have ranked playlists where you're playing against people of similar skill because it's ranked, and then you have casual where anything goes.
I just don't get, like, the reason COD does SBMM is apparently it increases microtransaction sales. I still just don't understand that. Wouldn't you think that, like, playing the game more when you're good would increase microtransaction sales, right? Because it's like, if you keep playing games where you get bullied, then you want to hop off the game. Is that, I don't know.
You'd be playing against a 9-year-old who just got the game for Christmas and it's his first time holding the controller, or you could be going up against Eric, who's trying his best to make it in the collegiate Call of Duty esports scene.
I gotta get back.
You never really know. I truly don't think everything needs to be skill-based matchmaking. True. I just think you could divide it into categories like Halo 2 did all those years ago. I get the philosophy behind it.
Isn't there a ranked mode in Black Ops 6? Or is that MW3 last year? Isn't there a ranked mode? I don't know.
Where you try and cater to every possible player, where if you do queue up casual and you play against pros and you're that 9-year-old who's never played a game before, it might make you leave the game because you got stomped so hard. Yeah, I'm sure that's definitely possible, and I'm sure there's data to back it up. But I still just think, trust the intelligence of the players. Like, if you want to be playing against people of similar skill, you would go to ranked, where you would be playing against people of similar skill. And if you just want, like, anything goes, you play casual. So if you're the 9-year-old who's never played a game before and you go to casual and you're getting stomped, go to ranked and you'll play against people that are equally as shit. Like, I think everything would balance out just like it did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it's just unnecessary to make everything skill-based matchmaking, but I know that's the norm now.
It's crazy because SBMM has been in the game since like COD 4, but it's just been heavily tuned recently since like MW 2019. And it's like, I thought this would have been reverted like 3 years ago. It's been 5 years since this like ridiculous fine tuning of SBMM. And it makes me wonder, like, is it ever going to go back to the way it is? I don't think so, to be honest.
I'm not here to just like harp on that for too long, but I did want to mention it because it does feel pretty extreme in Black Ops 6.
Okay.
But like I said, overall, multiplayer.
Let's get to the zombies,
exactly what you'd expect.
Liberty Balls
I got
enjoyers.
the exact same Call of Duty experience, more or less. I do think it's a better version. It's just not a different version or anything. Not that I think anyone expected it to be like drastically different, but I really thought it would feel different to play. Instead, it just feels like the same Call of Duty, but just a little more responsive. I like the TTK, hate the maps, but overall, I've been having some fun with the multiplayer.
I never thought that a Black Ops game would have bad maps. Like, that's pretty crazy. Are they really that bad, chat?
And I think if you like Call of Duty, you'll probably really enjoy it. If you don't like Call of Duty, I don't think it's winning you over. Do want to talk about zombies now.
Let's get it!
There's a lot of people that buy these games just for zombies. I think you might be in for a treat here. I'm not, the preeminent expert on zombies. I love World at War Zombies. I grinded the shit out of World at War Zombies, a bit into Black Ops. And
wow, I did not expect that. He's a Cold War Zombies lover.
And I know Black Ops 2 and 3, like, people love and revere the zombies there. I didn't spend too much time playing those, if I'm being completely honest.
It's interesting because he's exactly like Mudahar, where he, like, stopped at BO2, skipped BO3 and BO4, and came back for BO6. Like, BO6 is actually grabbing that casual audience that was back in the game since BO2. He said World at War. Oh, he said World at War. Okay, okay.
I do appreciate them, but I didn't spend a ton of time in there.
That's pretty crazy,
Black Ops 6, though, I'm really liking it.
No, but it goes back to my point. Like, it's grabbing a lot of OG casuals, which is, I never thought I would ever hear that, to be honest.
I'm really, really liking it. So you have Liberty Falls and you have Terminus. Liberty Falls is definitely the easier of the two.
Liberty Balls.
It's pretty simple. Like, everything's pretty straightforward there. Like, that's the zombies experience that I remember from World at War, except World at War was much harder. It's pretty easy in Liberty Falls. And it's really fun. Tons of zombies, tons of guns, tons of Easter eggs. You know what to expect there. Liberty Falls, I think, is a good map for people that have never played it before. And even if you've played zombies before, I think you'll still have fun with Liberty Falls. There's a lot to do. And
I think that's what Liberty Falls does great. It adds a tiny Easter egg that's, like, just good enough for casual players. Like, it's just long enough for casual players to enjoy it and to experience it. It's got a lot of fun side Easter eggs. Like, chat, Liberty Falls, the Etherella side Easter egg, that's like spider bait from Zetsubo, you know?
Terminus is where you go when you're ready to become a man.
Yeah!
Terminus is definitely the more difficult of the two here.
Let's
and
go!
I really like it.
Yes!
He's
a Terminus lover!
Fun. I was trying to do Kraken earlier. I don't want to get into spoilers, I'm sure. I think a lot of the fun for Easter eggs is trying to figure it out with your friends, and I think people are going to have a really good time with it. And Terminus just offers a lot. I don't even know really how to talk about zombies, because if you're into zombies, you already know a ton about it. I'm just here to tell you that I think they did a good job with zombies in this one.
This is amazing. I did not expect BO6 Zombies to get this much positive reception post-launch, to be quite honest. Like, dude, he's like dogging campaign, dogging MP, but when it comes to zombies, Terminus is a W. That's what I'm saying. Terminus is an A-tier map. It really is. Like, this is proving it.
I do think they kind of crushed it here. I think they were cooking.
Yeah.
Overall, though, is Black Ops 6 worth buying? It is if you already like Call of Duty, and it is if you really like zombies. I don't think if you're tired of Call of Duty, you're going to like this one. I think it is just the same Call of Duty. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I did not expect them to love zombies that much, but it is true. Like, Terminus is a strong map. It's a strong launch map. Hope the DLCs keep up with Terminus.
Really just feels the exact same, just with fluid, pretty tight movement, and everything feels pretty fine-tuned, except with horrible maps to accompany them. So, I don't think this wins you over.
Are you going to buy Gobblegum? Please, God, no. No more BO3 Liquid Divinium openings. Please, God, no. I hope not.
If you're tired of the Call of Duty formula, I think this is just a good Call of Duty for zombies, and good if you just want that comfort of playing another Call of Duty game. So if you don't fall into any of those camps, a zombies fan or a Call of Duty fan, probably not going to like this one. I don't think it's worth buying if you're just playing it for the campaign. I don't know how many people buy Call of Duty just for the campaign, but I definitely don't think it is.
They're out there.